Experts warn moving Marines away from Okinawa would play into China's hands. February 11, 2026. U.S. and Japanese plans to relocate thousands of Marines from Okinawa to Guam and other Pacific locations could weaken America's ability to counter China, according to experts at the Atlantic Council think tank. Nearly 2 decades ago, Washington and Tokyo agreed under the U.S.-Japan Defense Policy Review Initiative, DPRI, to move about 9,000 Marines off Okinawa, while keeping roughly 10,000 on the island. But in a February 3 article, Marine Lieutenant Colonel Caleb Eames and Atlantic Council analyst Amy Cowley argue that the strategic environment in the Indo-Pacific has changed dramatically since the agreement was signed. They contend that Marines stationed on Okinawa would be critical in a potential conflict with China, particularly as stand-in forces capable of delaying enemy advances and buying time for U.S. reinforcements. Eames and Cowley note that units such as the 3 Marine Expeditionary Force and Marine Littoral Regiments are designed to operate from austere bases within range of Chinese missiles, while still being able to strike back. For example, the 12th Littoral Combat Team, currently based on Okinawa, fields anti-ship missile batteries capable of hitting targets up to 115 miles away. Okinawa's location within the so-called First Island chain, which includes Japan, Taiwan, the Philippines, and Indonesia, makes it especially important in any regional conflict. If fully implemented, the DPRI would give Chinese military planners exactly what they want: a removal of U.S. forces from the locations where they would be most essential in a First Island chain conflict, the authors wrote. While the U.S. military is expanding infrastructure and missile defenses on Guam, the island is about 1,500 miles from Okinawa. Moving forces that distance by ship could take up to 3 days under ideal conditions, leaving little margin in a fast-moving crisis. Relocating Marines would also pull critical rapid response forces out of the region at a time when China has labeled reunification with Taiwan a core interest, Eames and Cowley argue. They say the proximity of Marines to China is central to the concept of a stand-in force. The authors urge the United States and Japan to revisit the DPRI agreement and consider offering economic incentives to Okinawans in exchange for maintaining a substantial Marine presence. Marine Corps Commandant General Eric Smith expressed similar concerns in 2025, saying that Guam would place Marines too far from the priority theater. "Frankly, Guam puts us going the wrong way," Smith said at the time, adding that the Corps would comply with the agreement unless it is changed. For now, the agreement remains in effect. Marine Corps spokesman Captain Stephen J. Keenan said the service maintains a steadfast commitment to Japan's defense and continues to implement the DPRI realignment. By Task and Purpose, story by Jeff Skogel, February 11, 2026.